Coming up on Around San Diego, President Trump shutting down the CBP One app on day one. It's a tool for migrants to legally seek asylum. We'll show you the impact it's having at the border. And this week marked 1 year since historic rain and flooding hit parts of southeast San Diego. We'll have a look at the continued recovery process. Plus, serious safety concerns over the possibility of landslides in a San Marcos neighborhood. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us as we take you around San Diego. I'm CBS 8's Jenny Day, and I'll get you caught up on a week's worth of news and look ahead in less than 30 minutes. We do begin at the border, where U.S. troops are being sent week one by the Trump administration to help crack down on illegal immigration. A senior military official tells the Associated Press 500 Marines from Camp Pendleton will be part of this deployment, a total of 1,500. Now, this comes as the ACLU is awaiting a federal court hearing on President Trump's shutdown of the CBP One app.
Mucha emoción, mucha expectativa.
Yeah, it is a move that has left asylum seekers like that one you just heard from stuck in limbo. The app had streamlined legal entry appointments at the border, really the only legal pathway. CBS 8's Abby Black shows us how it's impacting migrants in Tijuana.
President Trump's first acts after taking the oath on Monday was shutting down the CBP One app, canceling legal entry appointments for hundreds of thousands of asylum seekers, including those here at the San Ysidro Port of Entry. The impact was immediate. We spoke to migrants and shelter organizers in Tijuana about their growing concerns.
Fue cancelado.
Edward Alvarado holds up his phone displaying the notice from Customs and Border Protection that canceled his appointment on Monday.
Sí, yo tenía cita programada hoy para las 8 de la noche.
The Colombian migrant was waiting at the El Chaparral Port of Entry in Tijuana when he learned the news.
No, pues como un baldado de agua fría porque
His shock is felt by others. Jesus Diaz, who fled Venezuela, had his appointment canceled early inauguration morning.
la tenía para hoy a las 5 de la mañana.
After waiting 4 months for this date, Diaz struggles with the sudden change.
De verdad, una sorpresa que uno no lo va a negar.
I reached out to CBP officials, and they declined to answer questions about what asylum seekers should do with their canceled appointments. Instead, they confirmed the app shutdown, saying that they will continue to process applicants at U.S. ports of entry while upholding U.S. immigration laws. All other questions were deferred to the White House.
Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, House Speaker Mike Johnson praised the president's move.
He ended catch and release. He shut down the ridiculous CBP One app.
The move rescinds former President Biden's program, which offered up to 1,400 daily appointments through a lottery system. Instead, Trump has reinstated the Remain in Mexico policy, requiring asylum seekers to stay across the border until their court date.
Nobody knows what's going to happen.
Robert Vivar knows the border's complexities firsthand. The activist who fought his own deportation while working to free deported U.S. veterans describes the scene.
There's chaos, a lot of desperation, a lot of anxiety, a lot of uncertainty.
Customs and Border Protection estimates about 300,000 migrants are waiting on the Mexican side seeking asylum. Shelter organizers expect their numbers to grow as mass deportations continue. Despite the uncertainty, migrants like Jesus remain hopeful about entering the U.S. legally.
Nosotros somos de los buenos.
In San Ysidro, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Yeah, and some activists fear San Diego will be targeted by federal raids because we are a sanctuary city. It's estimated around 170,000 undocumented immigrants live in San Diego. We spoke with Pedro Rios with American Friends Service Committee. He says if they are removed from the U.S., we will all feel those effects.
It would mean that suddenly we wouldn't have people in the service industry, we wouldn't have people in the agricultural industry, we wouldn't have people that are professionals that touch every aspect of our life.
New orders from the Trump administration are now allowing immigration raids at sensitive areas like schools, churches, and hospitals. Well, now to our wildfire threat. The state is preparing for dangerous conditions by mobilizing more resources over the coming days. CAL FIRE has positioned nearly 800 firefighting personnel, 170 fire engines, and multiple helicopters across Southern California. That includes here in San Diego. Officials recommend being prepared in case you need to evacuate, have an exit plan, and a go bag filled with important documents, medicine, and other valuables. Also, sign up for emergency alerts at calalerts.gov. Meantime, tarps are now covering giant holes in the backyards of some homes in San Marcos, sparking serious safety concerns from the residents who live there. Neighbors say a leak in a drain pipe caused water to flood the slope, causing those giant holes. Some homes have been surrounded by caution tape for the last year and a half.
We're concerned. It's a hillside. Our houses are here. We're old people. We don't need this type of aggravation that anything could happen.
Yeah, the city of San Marcos says Palomar Estates' private storm drain carries water to the city storm drain down the hill, but Palomar Estates' drain eroded and water seeped into the slope. Palomar Estates submitted a repair plan to the city in August. It is said to be nearing approval. Yeah, 1 year ago this week, historic rains and flooding overwhelmed San Diego neighborhoods, destroying homes in South Crest and Mountain View when a storm channel overflowed. Some people blaming neglectful maintenance by the city. CBS 8's Brian White talked to neighbors and shows us what the channel looks like today.
Yeah, 1 year later, we're taking a look at the flood channel here. The city of San Diego told me they're not giving interviews on this, but they did provide me some information. I did, however, talk to people who live around here about their feelings on channel maintenance. Floodwaters rushing down the street, washing out homes here in South Crest and Mountain View last January 22nd. On Beta Street, Monica Garcia knew right away where the water was coming from.
It was like a gut feeling. It's the canal. I knew it was going to come up because there was no reason why that water level was rising so quickly.
Her neighbor, Greg Montoya, showed me where he says debris clogged the storm channel here under the 38th Street Bridge.
There was shopping carts, mattresses, trash, debris. There was so much trash that it ended up clogging down there. So the water had nowhere to go.
He says he was ringing alarm bells with the city for years about drainage issues here.
If you don't start addressing these problems, there's going to be a catastrophe, and look what happened.
This is what the stormwater channel looked like after the flood from our CBS 8 drone, and this is what it looks like today.
Finally, we do see, I mean, I can actually see a canal, right? Before, on January 22nd, it was like a forest.
Under an emergency declaration, the city cut through environmental red tape last year using excavators and bulldozers to clear 18 miles of channels citywide, removing 10,000 tons of debris and vegetation. And more recently, neighbors say a lot of work's been done the past couple weeks.
So that makes a big difference what they're doing now, but there's still a lot to be done.
Greg points out that some trash still remains here in the creek that could cause more problems.
We get heavy rains. All this trash is going to go down that way. It's going to clog that bridge, and it'll start backing up this way. They need to take this seriously.
Moving forward, neighbors tell me they hope to see the city performing more regular maintenance throughout the year. In South Crest, Brian White, CBS 8.
Yeah, and we have rain in the forecast. CBS 8 Steve Price and chief photographer Kenny McGregor were also there that day and went back to bring us this side-by-side comparison. Take a look.
This is 42nd Street in Mountain View. It's one of the areas hit hardest by flooding when water spilled out of a nearby storm channel. Today, a very different story. It's dry out here. Things look like they're back to normal, but neighbors tell me looks are deceiving.
Right now, I'm wading in this very, very heavy current right now. I mean, I equate it to like being in the ocean. This is really insane. I've never seen anything like this happen. Several dogs being rescued, a small child, a mom.
Yeah. We need to get her keys as well.
They say time heals all wounds. But for the flooding victims of January 22nd, 2024.
I really have a hard time talking about this.
Hey, have you found anybody?
No, for the most part, everybody's out.
1 full year is not enough time.
That's my car right there.
Which one?
This one.
That's your car there? Oh my gosh, was it parked in the middle of the street there?
It was parked right here.
Check out this side-by-side picture, their neighborhood then and now.
It was fast and bad. It was like 5 feet of water in this place. So then we lost everything.
Judith Banks' front yard flooded. The force of the water so strong it wedged a car against her fence. And this was her pool. Today, the pool is back to normal and her front yard looks great. But she says government money and help didn't last long.
It's been real tough. It's like we're over here, we're forgotten. And I say over here, 92113 and 92114. It's like we'll get to them when we get to them.
She estimates her losses in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, and she's not alone.
So sad because I don't have a flood insurance.
We first met Laura Anselmo on the day of the flooding. As the river flowed from her backyard to her front yard, she was trying to clear debris that created a dam against her fence, causing water to pool up, flooding her house.
Como por aquí.
She says the water reached all the way up to there, dirty water filled with sand and trash. A look then and now. And while the water is gone, they're still recovering. She estimates they're only about 50% of the way there.
¿Cómo estás hoy? Bien?
No estamos bien.
We're not good, she says. FEMA gave them a little money and they've spent their savings, but the house still needs a lot of repairs.
Please make us whole, just like you would everybody else.
Neighbors, a year later, still begging the city to pay for the mess it caused and constantly living in fear that it will happen again.
We've got a whole nother car that's down here somewhere.
So you don't know where your car is. Your other car isn't.
But through their flood of emotions, they're doing their best to stay positive.
We still alive and well. Thank God. That's all I can say.
In Mountain View, Steve Price, CBS 8.
Yeah, good attitude. It is just wild to see, and we are so sincerely wishing you well. Coming up, another wildfire breaking out near Los Angeles. We'll have the latest on the Hughes fire, plus how local restaurants are pitching in to help victims of the Eaton and Palisades fires. Welcome back. 39 suspected members of a notorious prison gang were arrested as part of a 6-month-long undercover law enforcement operation. They are facing charges ranging from murder to robbery, extortion, drug and weapons trafficking. Drugs and dozens of guns were also seized. Now, sadly, fires are still burning in LA this week. The latest one to ignite is being called the Hughes fire. It did trigger mandatory evacuations, including schools and homes. There has been a red flag warning on and off for really some time now, so winds are no doubt making the situation more challenging for firefighters. And this week, though, Little Italy restaurant Herb and Wood hosted a pop-up fundraiser for victims of the Los Angeles fires. The event brought together more than a dozen of San Diego's top chefs. They served up their unique takes on smash burgers, oysters, and fries. Some of these chefs were personally affected by those fires.
I have friends, like chefs in the area. Their restaurants burnt down, so now they're down here. They're helping us cook, and it's great. It's great to also see that like restaurants are opening their doors for the chefs who've been displaced, so they're able to like still make money and still put out food and all that sort of stuff.
Good to hear. Yeah, we are all so connected to LA. So all of these proceeds go to the World Central Kitchen and their efforts to feed those impacted by the fires. Now, even though the fundraiser is over, you can still donate at CBS8.com. Just click our help button. Still ahead, a Poway teacher is honored for her dedication to the classroom. We'll have a look inside the Zevely Zone. Well, a historic San Diego restaurant is back open after closing for pest problems. Las Cuatro Milpas, there in Barrio Logan, is serving food once again. This after the Department of Environmental Health closed it over the past month due to health code violations. State officials say there were signs of a vermin infestation. Las Cuatro Milpas has been open since 1933. Well, San Diego County Credit Union is honoring a Poway teacher for creating quite a buzz with her young students. As we take you in the Zevely Zone, CBS 8 partners with SDCCU at the Country Montessori School to celebrate a real classroom hero.
If you know anything about bumblebees, you know they're always busy and on the move. This 3 to 6 year old class at Country Montessori School is a beehive of activity.
I found Montessori 30 years ago, and it changed my life. How about you lay these out?
Miss Wendy West always wanted to be a teacher.
So Tim and Pup.
And her dream came true.
I feel like I'm a kid at heart, and so I love being around children, and I get to laugh every day.
Hi. Students in her preschool to kindergarten combo class are called bumblebees.
She's funny.
Students like 6-year-old Lila Vishal
Are we on the writing part?
are learning lessons in the classroom and out. You're teaching these kids more than just the ABCs.
Yes.
Field trips to Feeding San Diego show students the importance of giving back with food drives.
And I always ask the children, how do you feel after we do this?
What do they say?
My heart's just going to be filled with joy, and it's going to go into my hands and my feet. I'm going to be so excited. And I was like, that's what I'm looking for.
Miss West also volunteers with the Challenged Athletes Foundation to help people with physical disabilities.
Challenged Athletes provides the tools for them to be able to run, swim, surf.
She creates classrooms that are collaborative, they are inclusive.
Fellow teacher Vicki Rakoff has taught with Miss West for 3 decades.
The children, when they leave her classroom,
I am doing the 16.
if they don't just come out of the classroom with being academically prepared, they come out with just these wonderful skills of independence and confidence.
It takes confidence to rock climb. Every summer, Miss West also takes her students to adventure camp.
We eat bugs.
You eat bugs?
We eat bugs. It's a great time. We sing, we chant, we're around campfires, we camp out with the parent.
Anything to help her bumblebees find their wings. How does it feel to be the classroom hero?
Well, when I first found out, I was in shock. I was like, wait, I get to live my best life every day, and they're gonna honor me for it?
I'm Jeff, nice to meet you. In the words of 4-year-old Blair Martin,
I love her.
you love her?
Emma said I don't care.
Oh, how'd that make you feel?
Every bumblebee in this happy little hive feels the power of the queen bee.
She loves me.
She loves you. Congratulations, Miss West. Here's a $500 Visa gift card. We honor you as this month's Classroom Hero. In the Zevely Zone, Jeff Zevely.
Thank you.
CBS 8.
Ah, so sweet. He gets the best assignments. I adore interviewing children. Never know what you're going to get. So if you would like to nominate a teacher who you think is a classroom hero, go to cbs8.com/community. Winners get a $500 Visa gift card provided by the San Diego County Credit Union. Big thanks to what she's doing. Well, that will do it for us. Thank you for your time. Thanks always for staying informed. For CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day. Take such good care.